What's going on, everybody? Back here with another build update. In this video, we're going to be removing the motor from the RX-7 and also cutting the front of the nose off and looking at some of the front steering stuff and the front cross member. Just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I already have the majority of the stuff unhooked from the motor, so just got to hook up the cherry picker and then pull it right out. So it should be a quick little deal. Well, that was a fiasco. Got the motor out though, just chilling over here. Don't ask me why I pulled the transmission cooler with it. I don't know why I didn't just take the lines off. I started pulling it out and I'm like, oh, I forgot to unhook the tranny cooler lines. Only bled just a little bit. It's really not too bad normally, but I didn't take the intake manifold off, so it's hard to get two good spots on the chain with the cherry picker. So kind of had to finesse it a little bit with the jack and whatnot, but got it out. I'm gonna go ahead and start making some marks on the strut towers where I'm gonna cut the front nose off. Still not gonna mess with the front cross member or any of the steering stuff yet. I wanna be able to push it around for a while still. So until I get everything to do the steering rack, I don't wanna actually take the steering off. So I'm gonna skip that for now, but for now I am going to go ahead and chop the front of the nose off, plate it, and then at least put the main bar that comes right off the frame rails off and get it to the right length so that way the bumper lines up and stuff like that. I can't really do the top bars because it requires a tubing bender. Wyatt doesn't have the dies for his tubing bender yet, so I'll at least do this bottom bar. This top bar that comes down and bends, I'm gonna leave out of the way for now because I also am gonna figure out where the turbo is gonna go. I don't wanna put a bar somewhere where I wanna put the turbo, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to marking and chopping. Now I know some of you guys at home are probably like, hey Hayden, have you ever done this before? And not gonna lie, never done this before, but I'm just cutting stuff and hopefully it all works. Should probably move that out of the way. Okay, we got part of that off. Now I just need to cut right here on the frame rail, and then I'm just gonna cut over and here on the frame rail. Hopefully it's not too hard to do. This does not look like it's gonna be easy. Decent, Ricky. Shit. Oh, she flimsy. Ah! Come here. Oh. Come on. There we go. Let's see if I can cut that. Well, can't undo this no more. Oh yeah, baby. All kinds of room. Oh shit. Oh, shit. Shit. Could you just behave? Timber! Oh yeah. Not gonna lie, I feel like I may regret this in about a day or two when I'm trying to line up the bumper and the hood and the fenders. Oh my goodness, guys, what did I just do? Oh, it looks so short like this. Look at this thing. Is that even a car? This thing already looks like a this thing already has a super short wheelbase, and now with the front of it cut, it looks so ridiculous. Looks like a little go-kart. Not gonna lie, I kind of wish the motor was still in it so I could go drive it around like this on the street. It'd be kind of funny. That seemed a little bit easier than what I thought it was gonna be. I did cut this one a little too far this way, but this is all gonna be plated. I might just have to bend the plate this way into it a little bit so I can weld the seam all the way around. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of hurt. These things really aren't that heavy. They feel like maybe 15 pounds. Obviously, I'm not doing the tube front for just the weight, but I was hoping I'd be able to save a little bit of weight up here. I honestly think between those other two bars, I'm gonna add about the same amount of weight that I cut out, but it is gonna free up a lot of room to get this turbo where I want it. I'm not gonna tell y'all where I'm gonna put it yet, but I'm hoping tomorrow I can get these straight bars off, get everything plated. Can't do the uppers, but I can get the straight bars off. I can hang the bumper, and then I can kind of see where the turbo is gonna go. So I'm gonna go to Kyle's really quick. I gotta get some chromoly from him. And after that, I just need to go get some more metal from the metal supply store. I still need to chop off quite a bit more. I just went in front of my marks. I'm gonna square everything up and get it as square as I can get it with a Sawzall. Honestly, what I might do is I may use a square and mark all the way around it and cut it out with an angle grinder, just because I feel like I have a little bit more control with the angle grinder. But tomorrow I will get to that. Today I'm gonna grind off a little bit more and just make sure I mark down what material I need for tomorrow. It's the next day, just got back from getting material. I went and got just some strap. I got different sizes just for the different size openings over there. These are all 3/16 thick. It's plenty thick. The factory stuff looks like it's maybe like a 1/16, if that, or like an 1/8 inch, but it makes it super simple. I got some 2.5 inch strap for this, so I can just chop it to whatever this measurement is here, and then it just goes on there. I did get these ones kind of marked up already. I also earlier, I tried to square up these cuts as best I could and try and make them even on both sides so they don't look really weird to the eye. As you guys saw from earlier, I did mess this one up and I chopped it just back a little bit too far, but I'm gonna go ahead and weld this whole seam anyways, so it shouldn't really affect it at all. This side came out a whole lot better because I didn't chop it too far. But I went ahead and marked these tabs. I just set them up here like this, and then just traced out the backside so I know where to cut them. So I'm gonna trim those out, get them all cleaned up, get all the mill scale off of them. Just wanted to mention for anybody, even if you're trying to MIG weld this, you need to clean everything. All the paint needs to be off of it, wipe it all off, get all this nasty stuff off of it, because it already welds like crap, so it's gonna weld even worse if you don't clean it. I'm gonna go ahead, cut these marks out here, and then clean all the mill scale off these, and then go ahead and weld them on there. Got these plates all finished up. Nice and simple, just boxed them in like I showed you guys. Some spots welded really bad, some spots welded pretty good. I just welded these seams too, just to make sure that this is not gonna go anywhere. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, but it just doesn't hurt to throw a little weld right there. Got these ones boxed in, this one's still a little warm. Both sides are done. Now what I'm gonna do next is I cut these old mounts that actually mount the bumper. So my bumper mounts on the side of the fenders here in the front, they just slide into these clips, and then it just has 2 mounts that come right off the frame rails, which are these right here. So what I'm gonna do next to try and get this lined up the best before I cut the actual tube that comes off the frame rails, I'm gonna go ahead and go get the fenders and try and line them up as best I can, and then put the bumper on there. I might have to use some jack stands to get the bumper to set there. Hopefully it's not too hard to just hang there. I don't know if the fenders are gonna be able to support the weight of the bumper. But I'm gonna go ahead, grab the fenders and the bumper and the hood and put it on there, and then take some measurements for how long my bars need to be and how long these tabs need to be. So I'll show you guys here in just a little bit, but these frame rails will actually be a little bit lower than where my bumper mounts need to be. So I'm going to have to take a tab and weld it like this, and then I'll have it a little bit long, and then the actual frame rail, the new frame rail, will actually weld to the bottom of this. Got both fenders hung. I did my best to line up the old paint marks. It might not be perfect, but I am gonna go ahead and grab the hood and just lay it on there, just to kind of check this gap in between both sides. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about is this right here. It's super flimsy on the bottom because it doesn't have a bracket here. So I think I should be able to just slide the bumper right into these little clips, and then maybe just support it here in the middle with a jack stand while I take some measurements that go from the bumper mount to that frame rail. There we go. Okay. Bumper's on there. Now I'm just gonna grab the hood and then set the other little front cowl thing up there and just kind of see how the body lines are. Check it out. Got one side done. I am not gonna weld this right here all the way around because it's gonna distort, and I don't want it to distort a lot. So I'm gonna wait to weld that until I do these top bars here that come down and around back into it. So I'll tack that all up once I get that bar made, once Wyatt's back from World Cup finals. And then once I get that all tacked up, I'll weld that piece and this piece like all together, so that way it can't distort as much. Because right now, if I were to try to weld this, it'd probably like move up or down or side to side or wherever. But I did get these little tabs over here all welded onto it. I am gonna go back and clean these corners up and round them off and add a gusset here, just a small little gusset. I got this side right here tacked up. Using this angle finder, zeroed out on the actual frame rails to get like a nice number. They ended up being the same length, which I was kind of surprised. This one's just tacked up to the stock mounts. So I'm gonna go ahead and just break this one tack I have over here. I just put one tack on it just to hold it in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and break that off, weld it on the bench, put it back on there, and then tack this side up a whole bunch, just like this other side. Got this other side all tacked on there. Nice and strong. It actually feels pretty good. I think we should be good to go ahead and take this jack stand off. Bumper didn't even move. I just can't get over how much room is in here. Like, I know we did cut out quite a bit, but I really wasn't expecting to have this much room, you know, because we cut this out. It really doesn't look all that big, right? And then you go over here and you're just like, what the that's ridiculous. I got so much room for activities. I feel like I made some pretty good progress today. I know I didn't get it all the way done, but to do these upper bars, I do need a bender, and Wyatt isn't gonna be here. We're actually waiting for the dies to show up, and Wyatt's gonna be going to World Cup finals here. So once Wyatt gets back from World Cup finals, we'll be taking it over to Wyatt's. Be doing the top bars for the tube front because they're gonna have a bend in them. They're gonna come from here and then back and around into it. And then we're also going to be doing the roll cage while it's over there. So yes, I know I did not mention that in my last video. It is getting a cage. Y'all are ridiculous. Really, the only thing else I want to check is I'm actually going to go ahead and bolt the front cowl little nose piece on there and put the hood back on there. I just want to see how it all looks. I might push it out and rinse it off also. So I'm going to do that really quick and then show you guys what the final product looks like. Gosh, dang, this thing's starting to look like a real car again. God, it looks so good with the hood on there. But check it out. I feel like these lines look pretty good the whole way up. It looks like everything matches pretty good. The only thing I noticed is this gap right here. Not gonna lie though, the body lines on this didn't line up that great before. Honestly, I feel like they line up better now than what they did. Before, it used to have this weird gap in some places here. Now it looks really good. And it used to like not fit really good here. This body line's kind of hard to tell, just because I have like a jack stand in there just holding it up, but it looks like it all goes in there pretty nice. It all fits nice and tight, how it's supposed to be. Yeah, overall really happy with that. Can't really ask much more than that. Thing looks so good. I'm pretty surprised everything lines up that great. Like I told you guys earlier, it felt like when I first started this, I was gonna regret chopping the nose of this off, but I feel like it really wasn't all that bad. Now, obviously, I do have welding and fabrication experience, but I feel like even just a regular weekend warrior could have easily done this. It was literally just boxing in frame rails, a Sawzall, and if you can MIG weld, you would have been able to do what I could do. There's really not any type of fancy fabrication going on here. So if you're struggling with room in your car that you're doing, I suggest doing a tube front. Honestly, after looking at how much room I have in this, I wish I would have done a tube front on this first before I even LS swapped it. Because when I first LS swapped it, even stock, I had so many fitment issues, and it was such a nightmare trying to get the radiator to fit and everything else to fit. So I'd say if you're thinking about it, do the tube front. I don't think you'll regret it. I think that is going to be about it for this video, guys. I'm about to get out of here. I'm really tired. I feel like I got a lot of work done in the past couple days. So I hope you guys enjoyed these past videos. And actually, wait, you know what? I have one more thing I got to do actually before I leave. You know, I thought I was forgetting something, but I think that's all I got for you guys today. As always, guys, thank you for watching. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one.